It's hard to look at PUBG or any Battle Royale game and not compare it to a movie. After all, the idea did originate from a Japanese film bearing that same name, and that was made in 2000. PUBG, or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, being set in a dystopian setting and bearing similar production design and style, as well as other movies like Hunger Games, make it very comparable. Now, me being a film and movie guy, I can't help but bring up those comparisons and look at it more in depth. I want to look at the structure and the pacing. Now, PUBG, it plays like an interactive movie, where you play a character which you create and you customize, and sometimes it's written really well and sometimes it's really bad. You could choose to be the hunter, or the assassin, or the sniper, or the guy who hides and plays smart, or even the getaway driver. The options are vast. And that's all really based on your playstyle and of course a little luck. Now with the replay feature, it makes it even more possible to look at this game like a film. Just think about it. Almost every film follows a structure and pace. This is what makes movies interesting or boring or feel like they drag on. They usually have 3 acts. In PUBG, this is true as well. The first act is always the setup or the introduction. You're thrown into this world with the main character that you've created. In PUBG, we know the world and the reason, but we don't have any background or emotional connection to that character, besides obviously keeping them alive. They are us basically, and that's enough information to propel us into that film and give us a reason to want to survive and win. We are playing in a fantasy world and people will act like their real lives depend on it. We parachute and we loot up. And since our goal is to win and get that chicken dinner, we want to stay alive, right? So naturally, if it was real, you're going to avoid people and survive. But since this is a game, we can choose our outcomes differently every time depending on our playstyle. The first act could be action-packed and have a major fight, or it could drag out and be used to set up the conflict, where it leads to Act 2. This is where we're looting up and the circle continues to get smaller and you run into an opponent or team and you're forced to fight. This is the second act, and in a film or a screenplay is known to be the bulk and the heart of the story containing the major conflict. But depending on the luck and the choices, it can either be action-packed or drag out completely, making it really fun or really quite boring. But the structure doesn't necessarily change. There's always what we call a mid-game, and more often than not, you'll hear players talk about how their mid-game was either really boring or really exciting. Now after making it through that mid-game, the circle continues to get small enough, resulting in the third act, which we call the resolution, or in most movies, there's a final battle, where we must confront the other players and fight to win and get that chicken. Everything led to this point. This is always going to be unavoidable in terms of a battle. Just think of all your favorite movies, especially the action ones. This is naturally the most important part of a movie, and sometimes a great explosive ending can save that movie from being complete poopy. But will you be the main character that's victorious, or will it end in tragedy? How will you write your story? How similar do you guys think PUBG and other Battle Royale games are to movies? Do you think as a viewer the game is very entertaining to watch? Is this perhaps one of the key reasons why it's so popular on Twitch? I think broadcasters can choose for the game to be action-packed or boring, resulting in more interaction with their viewers, right? And what about esports? I mean, Hunger Games was competitive, right? Now I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.